How does alcohol affect your weight loss or your weight gain? I don't know about you, but ever since I became a mom, I feel like I drink more than I used to. I guess it's just that busyness of the whole day, or just the kids all day, where the nighttime comes and you just want a glass of wine. That's all. You don't want 5 drinks into party. It's just one glass of wine. Or it's because you're getting together with your mommy friends and you're going on lunch dates and dinner dates and getting the kids together, and you have all these birthday parties as they get bigger, and there's always alcohol there, and it just seems like there's always an opportunity to drink. And so I found that moms have a big issue with alcohol. Not in a bad way, but in a body fat way. So that's what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about how alcohol actually affects your weight loss, how it prevents you from losing weight, and how it can make you gain weight. I just want to give you some insight on what actually happens in your body when you drink alcohol so that you can be more informed and make better decisions. Make sure you stick around until the end, because I'm going to tell you one thing that I am so sure is going to blow your mind. It is going to make you not want to drink. Because if you don't want to drink, it's going to make it so much easier to not drink, and then your results will be so much better. I remember doing an interview for a local news channel, and we were talking about alcohol. And when I said this one thing, the lady that was interviewing me was just mind blown. She was like, "Why didn't I know this? I would have made changes so long ago." So I really think that knowing this one thing is going to help you make it so much easier to not drink as much. So I'm so excited about today, and I hope that it helps you get better results. Actually, I don't hope, I totally know it's going to help you get better results. Hey guys, I'm Michelle Marie from MichelleMarieFit.com. I have been helping women get in shape for the last 20 years. I was a personal trainer for over 20 years, helped hundreds of thousands of women. And then for the last 10 years or so, a little more, I have been helping women online have healthy and fit pregnancies, lose their baby weight postpartum, and then just get to be in the best shape of their lives after becoming moms, which so many women think is so hard, almost impossible. But that is what I have been committed to and love doing. So enough about me. If you need help in any of those circumstances, whether you're pregnant, postpartum, or just a mom that needs to get in shape, there's tons of resources and all my programs down in the description. But I really want to just hop right into the content today. So the first thing I want to talk about is how many calories are in alcohol. So protein has 4 calories per gram. Carbs have 4 calories per gram. Alcohol has 7 calories per gram. That is almost double the amount of carbs. So that's just something to keep in mind, that while not everything that I'm going to talk about is calories, because so many people think it's just about calories, that alcohol just adds more calories. It's not just about the calories, but do keep in mind that alcohol is way higher in calories than even carbohydrates. Because I think that because we think that it's liquid, like we're just drinking it, it's empty calories or it's no calories. It is empty calories because alcohol does nothing good for our body. It actually brings toxins and toxicity to our body, which we'll talk about that in a little bit. But yeah, it does have a lot of calories, and it will prevent you from losing weight, because in order to lose weight, you need to be in a deficit of 3,500 calories. So at the end of the week, you need to have burned 3,500 calories more than you consumed. So if you want to lose weight and you're drinking 2, 3, even 1 glass of something alcoholic a week, it can really add up, because it can really add up those calories, especially if you're not eating super duper clean. Another thing to note with alcohol, it's its metabolic effect. So I've spoken to you about this before when we've talked about metabolism. And if you haven't watched that video, it's right here on my YouTube channel. So search Metabolism, where I talk more in depth about how to speed metabolism. But in there, I spoke about how certain foods like protein, carbs, and fats all have a thermic effect. When your body's going through the process of digestion to digest those foods, your body burns calories, right? So that's great. You eat protein, you burn 25% of the calories just in the process of digestion. Well, with alcohol, it's in its simplest form. It's a sugar, and it's already broken down as much as it can. So your body absolutely burns no calories when you digest it. That's why they say it's like empty calories and it does nothing for you, because normally when you eat, even if it's carbs, your body has to work really hard to digest it. So you burn calories. It helps speed metabolism. That's why eating often is good. Well, because alcohol is a sugar and it's in its simplest form, your body burns no calories. Wah, wah, wah. So that's why it's so another reason why there is absolutely like no benefit to drinking alcohol other than a little bit of fun and relaxation. Another thing that's super duper important with alcohol is that alcohol is toxic to the body. So your body is going to do everything it can to metabolize it and get rid of it as fast as possible. And what's the problem with that? It basically is going to prioritize it. So all else stops in the body and your body is like, there's toxic, let's get rid of it. And why that is an issue is because it's now prioritizing, it's taking away from other processes in the body, like burning fat, like taking sugar when you eat something that's high in sugar, taking the sugar from the bloodstream and taking it to the muscles to regenerate for muscle and for energy. So you don't want that to happen. And that is another huge thing that people don't think about when they think about drinking, right? Because when you think about drinking, you just think about the calories, you think about the sugar, and like, that's pretty much it. But you don't realize that you're missing out on speeding metabolism, burning all these calories, that now your body has stopped paying attention to things like burning fat, and now it's prioritizing metabolizing that alcohol and getting rid of it so that there is no toxic in the body. Pretty crazy, right? Another thing I should mention is that when you drink alcohol, it slows metabolism. It just does. So look at all the things, if we put them together and you think about them now that you know, doesn't it make you more not want to drink? Like maybe it'll be easier now that you know the real effects of alcohol and that it's not just the calories and the sugar. Hopefully it does. Hopefully it's going to make it easier for you next time you want to have that glass of wine on a stressful weeknight and you just say, you know what, I'll just save it for during the weekend when I'm out and about with my husband, or you know, at an event or at a party or a get together, and then you can really enjoy it because now you know that all of the effects of alcohol in your body, aside from the extra calories and sugar. My goal is just to educate you, is just to give you knowledge so that you can make better decisions. I am all about balance. Hopefully by now, you know that. Hopefully by now you've spent some time here in my YouTube channel and you know that I really am all about balance, that I am about moderation, that as much as I love eating healthy and being fit and I exercise, I don't exercise 7 days a week, I exercise 5 days a week, and that I eat carbs and I love chocolate and I love wine and I love all of the things, right? I'm not like your typical trainer that eats like vegetables and protein or just salads. Like, no, I live and I have moderation. But knowing these things is important so that you can make better decisions, because I've found that the more educated my clients were, like all these years of 20 years of working one-on-one with women and seeing how much they wouldn't commit to things, or they wouldn't do the right things even though they knew they had to, but they didn't because they didn't buy in. They didn't go all in because they didn't really understand, right? Like before, you're like, oh, alcohol, it's just a few more calories, I'll work out tomorrow, right? But now you know that it's toxic to the body, and now your body's gonna prioritize that and not focus on burning fat. Now you know that you burn absolutely no calories when you do it. Like now you know all these things, and that will help you without even trying to be better. So yes, I love me a glass of wine, and yes, I love a good margarita, but I try to save that for the weekend, and I try to be really moderate about it. So, you know, it's the same thing if you're eating super healthy all week long, but then you drink Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and like, you know, 2 or 3 drinks each night. That's a lot. That's almost the same thing as if you drink every single night. So just try and be moderate about it. Usually what I try to do is I just say, I look at my weekend, or I think about my weekend, and I'm like, all right, well, Friday night we're going out to dinner, and so I'd like to have a glass of wine or 2, and so I'll do it then. And then I'm like, oh, Saturday, you know, we have a get together, but it's with these people, and I probably could care less to have a drink then. And so I just kind of plan ahead and commit to the days and times, you know, like, you know, afternoon or night, what, depending on our plans for the weekend, on when I'm going to drink. Because if not, you just tend to go, okay, I'll have one, okay, I'll have one, okay, I'll have another one. And then, you know, the weekend is over and you're like, oh my gosh, I drank all weekend. So just be balanced about it. So now I'm gonna give you some tips on what you can do when you are drinking. These are the things that I do myself, and it's really helped me to be able to continue seeing results or maintain my results depending on where I'm at, while still drinking and having a good time and living life and being moderate, right? Because I drink. I definitely have cocktails on the weekend or some wine. And so how do we do that and not be crazy and never drink again and still be able to lose weight and get fit? Well, the first thing I do is that I cut back on calories and or carbs on days I know I'm drinking. So that's why I said it's important before to kind of plan out when you're gonna drink, because if I know I'm going out on a Friday night, then all of Friday during the day, I'll eat extra clean, I'll cut back on my portions a little bit, and I'll cut back on carbs. So that at the end of the day, with the amount of alcohol I had, I ended up more or less around the same calories, or maybe a tad bit more. But here's what happens when you don't think about that and you don't do that. So say you normally have, just to make it easy, 2,000 calories a day. Like that's more or less how much food you eat, 2,000 calories a day. And now you have 3 drinks, and that adds another, say, 1,000 calories. And if you do that, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, now you've almost gained a pound. 1 pound. 3,500 calories is 1 pound. So what I try to do is on those days that I know I'm going to drink, I just cut back on calories. So normally I will have a normal breakfast with carbs. But then if I normally have carbs for lunch, I normally will cut them back. My portions will be smaller. If I do have, like, maybe if I have, you know, weekends, I kind of splurge and have like a gluten-free English muffin or bagel. Instead of having a full one, I'll have half. When I serve myself lunch, if it's like chicken, vegetables, you know, avocado, I normally will have like a little bit less chicken, a little bit less avocado. Vegetables I don't really worry about. If I normally have carbs, I just either cut it back, like have a smaller portion, or omit it completely. Normally I will just omit carbs after breakfast on if I know I'm going to drink that night. And that way you end up more or less with the same amount of carbs, calories, so it doesn't have that huge of an effect with calories. Now you're still gonna have all those other effects we spoke about, but at least you're not now gaining weight because you're drinking, right? So that's one tip that you should think about that is gonna make a huge change. Because what normally happens? You go out to dinner and you have a little bit of the bread, you have a little bit of appetizer, you have whatever your meal is, a few bites of dessert, and 3 glasses of wine, right? Like, and then you wonder why you can't lose weight. And if you do that Friday and Saturday, or Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, it's no wonder you're working out all the time and eating super healthy all week, but you're breaking even at the end of the week because you're doing so much harm on the weekends that it's kind of canceling out all that hard work you do during the week. Now listen, like I said, I'm all about moderation. So there totally is times where we have friends over and I take out, I make a nice charcuterie board and I have some cheese and crackers and wine, or we have pizza and wine. Like, that happens as well. But it happens more often when I'm in a maintenance mode. But if your goal is to lose weight and you still want to have those nights where you can indulge and have your cocktails or your wine, you've got to cut back on your calories and your carbs on days that you're drinking. So if you are trying to lose weight, I would definitely make sure that the whole day you're eating protein and vegetables. I would even cut back on the fat, the healthy fat, and just eat protein and vegetables all day so that you can, like, guilt-free have your drinks, have a nice meal, and not have to stress over it, or, end up with like a huge, overage in calories. Another thing I do is hydrate. As you probably know, alcohol dehydrates you. So I make sure that on a day that I know I'm going to maybe drink in the evening, I drink enough or more than enough all day after I drink, and also during. I've gotten in a really great habit of, like, before I could literally like sit there and have 4 glasses of wine and a whole charcuterie board and be like the happiest human and not have a sip of water. And while I enjoy that, I've gotten into the good habit, because I know how much it dehydrates you. I've gotten in a really good habit of having a glass of wine, drinking a glass of water, having a glass of wine, drinking a glass of water, having a margarita, having a glass of water. So just get yourself into that habit. All you need to do is, be intentional about it. And after you're intentional about it for a few days or a few weeks, it'll start to become a habit. But I make sure to drink a lot of water, more than I normally do, on a day before I drink, while I'm drinking, and after. And that also helps big time. Now let's talk about what to drink. Now, your best options are going to be wine or champagne, and also something like vodka or tequila. Now just make sure those are the ones that will have the least amount of calories and sugar. Just make sure that if you are doing tequila or vodka, be careful with mixers. Mixers could totally kill you because it's adding so many more calories and so much sugar. And remember that when we have sugar, it's going to increase, it's going to give you an insulin spike in the body. And when that happens, the hormones that release your fat cells are now suppressed. They are not able to be released. If we can't release fat cells, we can't burn them. So having a lot of sugar all the time is not good. Having alcohol, which is sugar in its simplest form, and adding more sugar to it is not a good idea. So try to do things like adding citruses, like adding fresh fruit, like citruses, I mean lemon, lime, orange, grapefruit. I made a delicious margarita the other day with literally just fresh squeezed lime juice and fresh squeezed grape juice, and that is it. And it was delicious. Also, you could do club soda. Nowadays they have all these like spritzers, these like seltzer waters that are flavored and they have no calories, no sugar. You could do something like that and add some citrus. Zest is amazing. It's super fragrant, and it has all the essential oils, and its flavor is intense. So if you wanted to add a little bit of the zest of like a lime or lemon to say your vodka or your tequila, that's also a great way to add flavor without the calories. And also, here is a huge hack that I have been doing recently because I am a sucker for a good margarita, is monk fruit. Monk fruit is a sweetener. It's a keto sweetener. It has 0 calories, 0 sugar, and it's a 1-to-1 ratio with sugar. So however much you would use of sugar, like if you have a recipe and it says 1 cup of sugar, you would use 1 cup of monk fruit. And it's super sweet. It tastes great. It has no aftertaste. It's not bitter. It's amazing. I've been using it a ton when I bake. And they have it even at Costco, they have it at Walmart, they have it at most grocery stores these days. So make sure to look out for that monk fruit. And you can make simple syrup with it. Not sure if you know what simple syrup is, but it's basically water boiled with sugar, and it kind of makes like this, we boil it down, it makes like this clear syrup that people use, or bartenders use, to sweeten drinks. So now we can make simple syrup, calorie-free, sugar-free. So if you like your drinks a little bit on the sweet side, you can add something like these, like the fresh lime juice, lemon juice, these spritzers, and if you need it to be a little bit extra sweet, you can go ahead and add a little bit of simple syrup made with monk fruit. How amazing is that? Now that obviously is if you are at home and you're able to make it. If you are out and ordering a drink and you need it to be sweetened, I would, if they have stevia, I would ask for stevia, just add a little bit of stevia in there. Sometimes when you know, clients have been like super strict, or I've been super strict, sometimes like taking in your purse like stevia drops and just adding a few drops into your drink you can do. Or if usually most places don't have stevia, but they will have something like Splenda. Now Splenda is sucralose and it's very inflammatory, so I don't love it. But at the end of the day, we're drinking alcohol, so it's like almost like the whole thing of like having chicken nuggets or hamburger with french fries and a Diet Coke. So it's like, let's not be fake here. Let's be a little realistic. You're having a drink, you're having a cocktail anyways. And so if you could just cut back on some of the sugar and the calories by adding a little bit of Splenda, we deal with a little bit of inflammation and call it a day, right? Obviously, stevia is better, the simple syrup is better if you're home, but it is what it is. If you need a drink to be a little bit sweeter, you can add a little bit of a whatever sweetener they have if you're ordering it out. So you see, we can be balanced and moderate about it, but now you have all this information. I am always telling you guys, knowledge is power. These are the things that make a difference. These little things, all these things that you know that help you make better choices when you go out to eat, when you're drinking, when you're making meals, that help you make better decisions so that you can get better results. As you know, it's way more than just a diet and a workout in order to lose weight and get in really good shape, or else we would all be in amazing shape, right? Because there's so many diets out there and workouts, but it's the little things. I used to always tell my clients when I was personal training, I want to teach you enough so that the, 163 hours, there's 168 hours in a week, and they see me for 3 hours a week, right? I train them 3 hours, 3 days a week for an hour, so that those 165 hours that you're on your own, you're making the best decisions so that you can get results. All the trainers in every gym I ever worked at were like, oh my gosh, Michelle, like, what do you do with your clients? How come they see such good results? How come your clients always look so amazing? It's because I always took the time to teach them these little things that help you make better decisions with everything. So I hope that you enjoyed this. The last thing I want to do is just give you some examples so that you know how many calories are in a few different kinds of liquors or wines, so that you get a better idea, because a lot of times we don't even know that. Like, we know we're adding calories, but we don't know how many. So I'm gonna give you that, and then we will wrap it up. All right, so I have my cheat sheet here, and I am just going to read some off for you. So the one that has the most calories and most sugar is beer. In one beer, there's 153 calories and 13 grams of sugar. The next one is wine with 120 calories and 4 grams of sugar. Then we move on to, so now we have champagne. Champagne has 78 calories, which is less calories than the ones I'm gonna tell you now, but it has 1.2 grams of sugar. Now the rest of these have a little more calories than champagne, not as much as wine, but 0 sugar. So we've got vodka with 96 calories and 0 grams of sugar. We've got tequila with 96 calories, 0 grams of sugar. We've got whiskey with 96 calories and 0 grams of sugar. And we've got gin with 96 calories and 0 grams of sugar. So now that you know this, maybe if you're a beer drinker, you will make a better choice, and instead of having a few beers, you'll have some wine, because it's a lot, 9 grams less of sugar per glass. Holy moly. So I know this was a lot, but I hope it was helpful, and I hope that it will help you make better choices so that it will affect your results positively. If you have any questions on anything that I spoke about today, make sure to drop it down here in the comments. I will make sure to come back and answer as much as I can. And if you have any questions on anything else that has to do with health or fitness, nutrition, supplements, productivity, lifestyle, mom life, anything, go ahead and drop that in the comments as well. I love going in the comments and getting content ideas from you guys. When you guys ask me questions, that's how I come up with my content. And so if you have any ideas or any questions or things that you want me to discuss or go over or teach on, go ahead and drop those in the comments as well, and I will make sure to create something for it. And don't forget to subscribe so that you can see every single week the new video. Every week I'm posting 1 to 2 videos, and like I said, it's a great way for you to learn more so you can see better results. Now, don't forget to browse around, because there's so much content right here in my YouTube channel. I've got workouts galore that you can do at home. I've got recipes galore. I've got healthy cooking hacks and tips, all kinds of fat loss and weight loss strategies, and so much more. So educate yourself. Remember, knowledge is power, and the more you know about everything, the better your results are going to be, because the better choices you're going to make. Love you guys, and I'll talk to you soon.